All right, one more thing is presented by FanDuel. Kel'el Ware made second team all rookie. Bam Adebayo was left off of both all defensive teams. So Ware missing out on first team all rookie, no all defense for the first time this decade for Bam Adebayo. Which one do you have a bigger problem with, David?
Uh, I could see the argument for keeping Khalil off the first team. It's leaving Bam off, and I think it's such an indictment on the voting process. And I mean, we've gone through this every time with a Defensive Player of the Year selection, and I know that it's impossible, even as a media member ourselves. It's impossible to watch basketball all the time and to see all the nuances of every team. There's just too much. We try. I think we do a pretty good job. And yet, I'll be the first to admit that neither of us is perfect. And that being the case, I know we're going to get some things wrong on occasion, but they totally botched this. Like, this team would have been abysmal. They were bad, but they would have been abysmal without Bam Adebayo and his defensive presence. And I think it's just such a reflection of what they thought this season was for Miami. It's like, well, they were a playing team. They weren't very good. And, they weren't a top defense and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, did you see the crap show that this season was and the drama with Jimmy Butler and everything else and trying to incorporate new players and trying to play consistent defense? It would have been impossible for any other player to do so. And I'm not saying Bam deserves to be recognized as the Defensive Player of the Year. I will admit that this probably was his worst season in some time, probably because he just saw the writing on the wall and he was like, you know what, I'm not going to. There's no point. There's no point in me even trying to angle for the Defensive Player of the Year award. It's just not going to happen. But he was still one of the top 5 defenders in the NBA this season, and I think that he should have been recognized as such.
So, I want to be clear. I had almost exactly this first team and second team, but I had Bam on my second team. Most years he's an automatic first team. That's who Bam is. But it was a down year for even Bam.
Yep.
I think that they held. I think voters did hold Miami's struggles weird season against him. I think they also weirdly held his slow offensive start against him
Yeah.
because he just was sort of eliminated out of the award conversation. And everybody's, oh, Bam's having a down year. Yeah, offensively, for the first half of the season, he was having a down year. Defensively, it was always the same. I mean, it wasn't his. He had no business being the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, which he's usually in. It was a notch below that. But even it being a notch below that is still really damn good. And that's where I think things got lost. The first team, I might as well just tell the listeners what the all defensive teams were. First team was Evan Mobley, Dyson Daniels, Lou Dort, Draymond Green, Amen Thompson. I have no issue with that. It's exactly my first team on my fake ballot. I have the exact same team. Second team was Ivica Zubac, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Tamani Kamara, and Rudy Gobert. I had almost the exact same second team. I had Zubac, Kamara, Jalen Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr., and instead of Gobert, I had Bam. I don't think my question wasn't Gobert or Bam. My question was Jaren Jackson Jr. or Gobert. And I don't know why Jaren Jackson Jr. got off scot-free on this. He didn't have a great defensive season either.
Definitely.
But he had a better offensive season than Bam, and it shouldn't matter in the all-defensive awards, but apparently that stuff does. You looked at Miami. They finished the regular season 9th in defensive rating. Memphis finished 11th. It's not like the Grizzlies had this great defense. Miami's defense was better. And I would argue Memphis has more defensive talent outside of their star big man than Miami does. And so, I mean, when you think about guys like Jalen Wells, all those forwards that they got, Desmond Bane out on the perimeter, the centers that they have, Brandon Clark before he got hurt, even having Zach Edey in there, he was a full-time starter. Kel'el Ware took a little bit longer to get into the rotation. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, Jaren Jackson Jr. has the fouling problems. He's not a great rebounder. Why exactly did he get in over Bam? And that was my biggest thing. That was my thing. It was Jackson or Gobert for me. I ended up going with Jackson, but I actually didn't feel good about it, and I kind of regret it. I feel like I should have probably gone Gobert over Jackson, but yeah, I think it's a problem. I do want to talk about all rookie here in a second, but before we do that, Today's One More Thing is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. The Knicks are 6-point favorites tonight against the Pacers in Game 2. Little bit too much for me. I have no idea how this series is going to go based off of Game 1. But if you like the Pacers to win, I would take the money line at plus 200. I also like Karl-Anthony Towns at plus 118 to score at least 25 points. He's averaged more than 30 points per game against the Pacers in the regular season and the playoffs. That feels like it's a given. New to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Let's get to the all-rookie teams that were announced earlier this week. First team, Stephon Castle, Zachary Rizachet, Jalen Wells, Zach Edey, and Alex Sarr. Second team was Kel'el Ware, Matez Buzelis, Yves Missy, Donovan Clingan, and Bub Carrington. Kel'el Ware got the most votes out of anybody on second team. He was 10 first-place votes behind Alex Sarr. Sarr was the second pick in the draft. Ware was the 15th pick in the draft. I don't really have a problem with it. Sarr's production was there. The efficiency was not. I think you could have argued Ware over Sarr. I think you could have argued Ware over Edey. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised that he had that many first-place votes, and by far the most first-place votes out of anybody on the second team. He had 44 first-place votes. The second most was Buzelis at 15. So I think he's like the sixth man of the first team. It kind of feels like.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like we had that conversation when we were talking at all rookie teams, and it felt like kind of the same place too. So I think we both got that one right. I think Edey, the name recognition, I think really helped his case, and he was solid. He wasn't like bad as a rookie, and so I think that's basically the only way that it could be held against you, that you don't make the first team, is if you're really truly astoundingly bad as a rookie, and that wasn't the case. Like, he had his problems, but at the same time,
so much of it is just like playing time too.
Mm-hmm.
For a rookie, it's just like, oh, you got on the court, congrats. Like, that's hard.
Yeah, you got on the court, you put up some numbers. Hey, you know what? Let's reward you.
Yeah.
Sarr, I think that's more questionable, but again, since a high draft pick, you're probably going to tend to say, oh, well, look at those numbers, and he's a second overall pick. Yeah, I get it. Let's put him on the first team. Although I think, I don't think it's any case. Like, he wasn't even looter in a riot type statistics. He was just like, he was okay on a really, really bad Washington team, and everybody was like, yeah, he's got some potential there. So, I think by far Ware was the more impactful player, and he certainly had some nice moments for Miami as a rookie, and he probably was more deserving to be the first team over Alex Sarr, but that's okay. It's I don't think ultimately it matters. And you know what? Moreover, I hope it pisses him off and it inspires him, and he winds up using this as motivation, because we know that that's what NBA players do. And so if that's the case, I'm all for it.
Every time he plays Sarr,
every
time he plays Sarr or Edey, he could get a little bit motivated. He's like, first of all, these guys were drafted over me, and then they got chosen first team all over me. When this was announced, I saw the complaint, oh my God, Eric Spoelstra cost Kel'el Ware a chance to make first team all rookie. And my response to that is, who cares?
Yeah.
I know we're doing a segment on it, but who cares about these all-rookie teams? Nobody cares about these all-rookie teams. Rookie of the Year is a legitimately cool reward, but nobody cares about the difference between being first team or second team. Nobody remembers, oh my God, that guy was like...
I couldn't remember who was on the team last year. Can you?
No, I couldn't tell you the 5. I couldn't tell you the 10. I couldn't tell you. I said it kind of facetiously, but it is a legit accomplishment to get on the court as a rookie. And if you play a lot of minutes, you're probably going to make one of these teams. It's sort of the common denominator with these guys who get this stuff. I guess if Spo had just played Ware to start the season, he would have had more minutes and maybe gets first team. Okay. Again, so what? Who cares? The coaching staff felt it was better for his development, and it was. And you and I have talked about that a lot. I don't think Kel'el Ware is doing Kel'el Ware. The things that he was doing in February and March, he would not have been doing in October and November. And I don't know why people have such a hard time wrapping their head around that. But congrats to Kel'el Ware. It's still really cool that you made second team because nobody had him there, right? When we were talking about him coming out of that draft, there's a lot of guys in the lottery, a lot of guys picked ahead of him that were nowhere even near first or second team all rookie. So congrats to him. Shame that Bam didn't make all defensive team, but you and I both expect a big defensive season for Bam next year. But that'll do it for one more thing. Thanks for making Locked On Heat your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On NBA Big Board Show. NBA draft expert Rafael Barlow reacts to every workout, interview, and rumor leading up to the NBA draft. Find the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts.